looking for. I forgot what I'm doing. La la la. I need those. That goes there. I already hit the record button. What size is this? Okay. Hi friends, welcome back. I'm MC, a knit and crochet designer and yarn dyer from Connecticut, and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Blame the Knots, on my website, blametheknots.com, and of course right here on YouTube where you can get to know me a little bit better. Today, we are here for episode 46 of the podcast. I cannot believe we are getting close to episode 50, and I have a decent amount of stuff to talk to you about today. I'm holding part of a project, and we'll talk about that in a second. I guess before I get into it, let's talk quickly about what I'm wearing, and then we can move on into all of the other things. So I am wearing today my crew neck tee, which is in testing currently. It is this really fun, very simple drop shoulder tee, and it has these, I hope you can see that. Yeah. It has these little floats. So this is crew neck tee, spelled K-R-E-W-E, like the crews in New Orleans that put on Mardi Gras parades. And the little slipped stitches in the ribbing is a little nod to the floats that they make for the parades. So this, like I said, is currently in testing. This is a DK weight pattern. I do not think I have a release date set yet. What? I think I did the same thing as I did last time, and I forgot to delete stuff before I started recording. So anyway, let's finish this up and then I'll go delete things. This is using my No Duh DK in a color that I dyed myself that is unnamed and part of a future collection that will hopefully be coming. I want to say my goal is to get the collection released in May, so I need to figure out a name for this color before then. Okay, let's take a pause, and well, you won't notice anything, but I will be right back with my whips. No, my finished objects. I don't even remember what I'm doing anymore. Okay, I apparently am very frazzled today, so let's jump in to our finished objects. The first thing I have to show you is a really big one, and this is my Brioche Adventure by Jonathan Tallow. I love this so much. I love the way it came out. I will show you from one end all the way down to the other. This is a pattern that is done with brioche and a little bit of garter, and it is knit on the bias, and it is meant to be used with a set of mini skeins, or an advent, you know, brioche adventure. This has been the longest standing whip in my life for a very long time. Also, I'm gonna cast on a swatch while I am talking to you because I don't have enough time in my day to not be multitasking. So I'm going to work on a little swatch while we're here together. I will talk to you about it in a little bit once we get into whips and future plans and stuff. Anyway, back to the Brioche Adventure. I started it in September of 2023, and I finally decided I needed to challenge myself to get it done. So I decided to film a vlog, which has already been posted, so you may have already seen that, and I challenged myself to finish it up, and we were successful. So let's see. I didn't make any modifications except that I used a US 5 for the shawl. I think the pattern calls for US 4. I'm not 100% positive. I need to count. Let's do 6, 7, 8. That works. So yeah, that's the only modification that I made. I think my shawl came out smaller because I did not gauge swatch. So I think it's a little bit smaller than what the pattern calls for, but you know, it's fine, it's a shawl. And as far as colors are concerned, I used a mini skein set and a sock set from Long Dog yarn that is entirely Princess Bride themed, and it was so much fun, but I am so glad that it is done. Now, the next thing that I have that is finished is kind of cheating. It's not really super finished, but I'm calling it finished because it took me forever and I am done with it for right now. And this is what I'm calling my Witch's Brew spin. This is some beautiful fiber. I just finished this second darker bobbin literally this morning. This one I have shown before. This is a combination of Falkland and Targhee in my Don't Cry Shop Girl colorway, and I decided that I wanted to ply it with this Targhee from the Little Wolf Knits in the color Witch's Brew, and I think that they are going to look really good together once they're plied up. There's kind of like, this one's like purple with a little tiny bit of green, and this one's mostly green with a little bit of purple in it, and so I think they're going to look great. Now, a couple of things about this. One, I've been spinning it on my EEW6, if anyone is interested. I think it's going to be quite a while before I end up applying this because I am still in filming ahead of time mode, and so basically I can't, oh my gosh, I can't do this. Okay, you know what? This swatch, unfortunately, is just going to have to get put aside for a second because I can't make my brain multitask with my hands. So anyway, this spin that I have now put off screen and you can't see anymore, this spin, I am probably not going to be applying it for a little while because I am still in my filming ahead of time thing. And so I have not left for Hawaii yet, but I am leaving in just a few days, and I honestly don't know if I can get this plying done before then. I mean, yes, I should be able to finish it in a few days, but plying always takes me so much longer than I anticipate, and I just don't want to add that pressure of trying to finish it before we leave, and I definitely don't want to leave it half done, so I think I'm just going to leave these singles as they are, and I'll apply it when I get home. So that's why I'm calling it a finished object for now. I'm going to apply it later. It's probably not going to happen until May, so that's fine. Another thing I just wanted to mention with this is I was thinking the whole time I was working on this, I was like, oh my god, it's taking me forever. For some reason, it felt like the slowest spin I had ever done in my entire life. And I was like, what is going on? Why does it feel so slow? It just felt like it was taking me forever. I was doing nothing different. It just felt like I was literally just crawling through this spin. And then I think I figured it out like yesterday, when I was almost done with the final braid. I think what is happening is that I have been using a battery pack for my EEW6, and I started using the battery pack when I started spinning this. And I started this spin when I was away in Pennsylvania and I was talking to friends and I was doing stuff and whatever, and so I didn't really notice what was happening as it was happening until I got home and I was trying to get back into my normal spinning routine, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so slow. And I think what I figured out is that my, I don't know if this is a common thing or if it's a me thing that's just happening with mine and it's like a little glitchy, but my battery pack supplies a little bit less power than plugging in the machine. So if I were to just plug it in, and set it at like a 2 on the dial, it goes at a certain speed. And if I attach it to my battery pack and I set it to 2, it's a little bit slower. And so I wasn't really noticing this when I was like talking to people and doing whatever. And then I finally like ended up cranking up the speed a little bit. And I was like, oh my gosh, this feels so much more natural. Like I was literally moving slower and I was compensating for the speed difference in the machine, but I wasn't like really noticing it in my body. I don't think it was like drastically enough for me to really notice. But once I cranked that speed up, I was like, oh my gosh, this feels more natural. This feels like what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm going to keep an eye out for that in the future. And, you know, there's a chance that maybe I just need a different charging cable or something. But maybe it's just a thing that happens and that's okay. I don't crank up the speed on my wheel super high anyway, so I have some room to play. So not the biggest deal. Okay, let's talk about works in progress. And this is something that is huge for me because I literally have 2 works in progress right now. Now, I will say, caveat, I don't really technically count my spinning projects as works in progress because they're just, I don't know, they're like happy, fun. They're like my fun hobby. And this is like my work hobby. I don't know if that makes sense, but they're in a different category in my brain and I don't really count spinning whips as whips. So for knit and crochet, I have 2. When I finished my brioche adventure, that was my 3rd one. And now I have only 2 left. I don't know what's happening to me. It is wild. It hurts my brain a little bit to think that I only have 2 whips right now. Like, I don't know how to handle it. It feels fantastic and horrible at the same time. But I'm gonna get used to it, I think. So, first things first, I have my C Street dress. This is coming along wonderfully, and I am now through the hip increases. I just did short rows for the butt area and now I just need to add some length. So I just need to add probably like, so you see where this marker is, this is where I was last time. I need to basically do this again to add length to the dress and then that will be done and I just have to do the ribbing around the armholes and stuff. So I could probably get this finished in about a week, but again, with the travel and the whatever, I just don't know. A lot of things are going to get in the way. So I could end up with like a lot of sedentary time or like none at all, depending on how many things I find to occupy myself with before we leave, like things around the house and setting up the animals and packing and all that kind of stuff. So we will see. But this is where I was last time. This is a marker from Wendy of Warm Stripes on Etsy. And this is a porcelain progress keeper that I'm actually going to be removing because the next time I sit down to film a podcast will be over 1 month from right now. And this dress will 100% be done. So I do not need a progress keeper to show you where I was anymore. And also, I just really don't want to bring any of my like really precious progress keepers with me on the trip. I'm going to be using a lot of like these plastic ones because I don't know, I'm going to be jamming stuff in and taking it to the beach and bags getting tossed around and I just don't want to hurt anything. So anyway, I need to add, I don't know, maybe like 6-ish inches before I am done and then do the ribbing. Also, I have to say, I just, like literally moments ago on this round, just attached my 3rd ball of yarn and I cannot believe it because like I've done crochet tanks that take 2 skeins and I've done all of this with just 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn. It's wild to me. And like, I had to go up 2 sizes from the waist to the hips. I went up 2 sizes rather than sticking to my size. So I did extra increases. So it's so much wider at the hips than the waist. So I'm amazed by the yarn management in this one. It's very interesting to me. Speaking of the yarn, this is Thank Your on my For Sure fingering base. I am loving the way that it is coming out. So this 100,000 million bajillion % will be done the next time that you see it. The next thing that and only other thing, I guess, that I have been working on is my E Street sweater by Brie of the Little Wolf Knits. This comes out so orange on camera. This is using FOX on my For Sure fingering base. I will hold it up for you, but just know that it's much darker than this in person. It's more red-brown than orange. And I did the entire front panel. I just needed some very easy stockinette, and so I finished the front panel. So last time I had finished the back panel, that's where this marker was, and this time we will move it to the front panel. I am, basically I'm ready to join in the round. I have not attached in the round yet, but my size that I am making does not have any underarm stitches, so I just need to start knitting in the round. So that's where we are now. This progress keeper is from Stacy of Bah Humble. Is that focused? I cannot see. I hope so. Let's see. Any modifications in this? I don't think so. I don't think I did any modifications. I am making this with a US 6 instead of a US 5, like the pattern calls for, to match the gauge. And oh, not really a modification, but I want it to fit me with less ease than what the pattern recommends. So I am making the smallest size, which is 2 sizes smaller than I would normally make. It is going to fit me with neutral ease rather than 8 to 10 inches of positive ease. That's just the way that I want it to fit. I did a lot of measuring and comparing to the schematic and everything ahead of time just to make sure that I wasn't going to, have it fit the way I wanted to around the bust and then it's like choking me. So yeah, that's where we are with that. And you will notice that this is on Stitch Shoppers, and that is because of what I was trying to do earlier. So let's pull out my little magic bag of what I'm going to be working on next. So since I only have 2 current WIPs and the next time I'll be sitting down to film will be over a month away, I figured I'd give you a little taste of what's going to be coming up in the next month of my life and what projects I have planned to bring along with me to Hawaii and what I'm thinking about. So you will be seeing these pretty soon and probably they will magically be done. But for me, things are just getting started. So I have this bag. I'm gonna hold that up and show you. This is a knitting project yarn bag that I received as a gift. I do not know where it came from, but it has several pockets for yarn in it, and I will show you what is going on. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 skeins of yarn in here. So this one that's on top, I am actually going to potentially be casting something on today, maybe tomorrow, I'm not sure, but very soon before I leave because I want it to be started before I go. So I'm going to be using this. This is, I need to look it up. This is Copper Penny. It is a DK weight yarn, 100% non-superwash merino from Pearl and Clover Yarn Company. And I have 3 skeins of this in here. Let me see if I can show you what's going on inside. So there are 4 compartments to hold balls of yarn, and then I have 1 in the middle. So I have 1, 2, and 3 skeins of this Copper Penny in here. I plan on making a shawl wrap thing, and yeah, I want to get it started before I leave just so I'm not fiddling with casting on, and then I should just be able to like chug along on the plane and stuff. The next thing I'm planning on bringing is this. This is my tall decaf cappuccino colorway, and I recently used this for a pair of DK weight percolated socks, and now I'm going to be making myself a fingering weight pair of my percolated socks, which are currently in testing and should be releasing very soon by the time you're seeing this. So I plan on bringing this. I don't know if I'll get these cast on before I go. Might cast them on the plane. Those aren't like super hard to get cast on, so I'll figure that out when I feel like it. And then the next thing that I was trying to swatch for right now, this is my colorway Power Surge, which I just released, well, no, which released in March. And this is, oh boy, going to just blow out everything. This is a hot pink that is on my No Dud DK base, and I also have in here What's Up. Also on DK, bright yellow. Oh my gosh, this is gonna mess with the camera so hard. But I am going to be using these together for a, dropped it, for a project that I'm not gonna tell you about yet. But I just unfortunately need to swatch. And I just wanna check my stitches with this pink really quickly, although I really don't want to, but I need to because I want to try and get a different gauge than I usually get with my DK weight yarn. And so I'm just trying a different needle size and seeing what happens. Anyway, those are my plans for what I'm taking with me on the plane. But there's one other thing that I'm going to be taking as well, and that is this that has been sitting back here, and this is a case for my Dreaming Robots Nano Obi-Wan Nanobi. And I am super excited that I'm going to be trying to take this with me to Hawaii. So I have a battery pack in here. Come on. There we go. It's just a snug fit. Oh, because there's like a catch that helps it hold in place. So I have my battery pack in here, and then in this side I have just my, for right now I just have my, what's this called? Orifice hook and the little control that I need to help things run, to get the power to the machine. And yeah, so that's going to be coming with me, and I'm super excited about it. I have some fiber picked out. I got this case from the Spinning Siren, which I will leave down below. And what's really cool is that, sorry, loud noises. Once you put the lid on, the drawers cannot open. They are locked closed. And it's really great. I got the boring gray color for my case because I wanted to try and see if I could put stickers and stuff on here or decorate it in some way. But they have a bajillion colors that are really bright and fun and all kinds of stuff. I also really, really want to get one for my EEW6 for Qui-Gon Spin one day. But for right now, I just have that, and that is going to help me to bring some spinning with me because I don't know if I could make it a whole month without spinning. There is not much to talk about in the shop. I have been having a sale running the entire time I am away, which gives you, I don't even remember what I set it up for. I think 10% off? Yeah. Which gives you 10% off every single thing that is in the shop. As a thank you for your patience with how long things are going to take to ship while I have been gone. So that sale is still running when this podcast goes live. And also there will be a sale running on my patterns on Ravelry, which I don't know the code for, so I will put it right here for you. So you can go grab patterns on sale on Ravelry as well. That's really all there is. I am currently away, so nothing can happen in the shop while I'm gone. So stay tuned for when I return, and hopefully there will be more information. All right, all that's left is some life and some books. So in terms of life things, not much has been happening. Still, again, it's only been a week since the last time I filmed, which I'm still not used to. And we have just been trying to get ready. There is so much to do when you're traveling for as long as I will be. Joe's not going to be gone as long as I am. So, I don't have to worry about too much. He's going to be coming home, helping deal with all the animals and stuff. But there's just a lot to do. So, like I said, we leave in a couple of days, and I am just like doing all the laundry, packing all the things, trying to get everything ready. We have a wedding, and then we come home for less than 24 hours, and then we leave again for Hawaii. So it's kind of like packing, unpacking, repacking, figuring things out. It's just a lot. In terms of what we've been watching, one thing that I forgot to mention in past podcasts is that we have been watching all of the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. We have finished the whole trilogy, and those movies are so good. There are very, very mild, kind of confusing spoilers for Sonic 2 in my Brioche Adventure vlog. But I had to put it in there because it was really funny, just Joe and I trying to like remember what happened in Sonic 2 before we watched Sonic 3. But they're so good. They are such good movies. We have not watched the Knuckles TV show yet, but we really want to because they're amazing. Amazing. They have no right being as good as they are. And then we finally got our hands on Venom 2 and 3. I forget what they're called. Let There Be Carnage, I think, is number 2. And The Last Dance is Venom number 3. And again, they're so good. They're so good. I think, honestly, probably still the first one is my favorite. But they're all really, really good. And I ended up crying in Venom 3. Like, seriously, what? Yeah. Highly recommend the whole series. And then the last thing that we watched, we've clearly been on a movie kick lately. We've been trying to do a lot more like movie nights and date night things at home. We started to watch what we thought was Bad Boys 3. And we got like maybe 30 minutes into it, and we were like, I don't remember any of the references that they're making. And then we realized that we were watching Bad Boys 4 and we had never seen 3. So then we watched 3 and it was fine. It was good, but it was very confusing. So we ended up watching like 30 minutes of 4 and then 3, and then we'll go back one day and watch 4. But now I'm very confused about the whole Bad Boys plotline, universe, whatever, but still an enjoyable movie. Other than that, I have been cruising along with my physical therapy for my jaw. I had a little bit of a rough week this week because we adjusted my treatment plan, and a lot of things were hurting quite a bit. So we've adjusted it again. We had to like go back on the intensity of some things, but that's okay. That's what happens. You don't know until you try it, and then you have to adjust and just be like open with your physical therapist and tell them what you're feeling. So this week was a little bit painful, but I am still hopeful that things are gonna progress. I definitely do already feel a change. And it's also been kind of weird because we're kind of like retraining everything in this area. And so sometimes even talking feels like a little bit weird. It doesn't feel normal because I'm moving my mouth in a different way than I'm used to. So sometimes talking just like feels funny. But still cruising. Got a long way to go on that, but things are feeling good. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about books. I actually finished a bunch of things this week, and I'm sure that by the next time you see me, I will have a ton to talk about because I have completely loaded up my Kindle full of books for me to read while I'm gone. So anyway, the first thing that I finished up is Every Time I Go on Vacation, Someone Dies by Catherine Mack. I gave this 5 stars. I had such a good time. I think I mentioned last time that I feel like the main driving force that like gets the plot started in this book feels kind of dumb. feels a little dumb and easily avoidable, but honestly, you know what? It was so much fun. It is about a mystery writer, like a cozy mystery writer, mystery romance writer that ends up entangled in a mystery of her own. And it was just, there are like footnotes and asides where she breaks the fourth wall and talks to the reader. And it was so funny, so enjoyable. Loved it. Highly recommend. Fantastic book. Next up, I read Patricia Wants to Cuddle by Samantha Allen. I ended up giving this 4 stars. I really wanted it to be more. It just like really tanked at the end, unfortunately. It was so funny and good. It is about basically kind of like The Bachelor. They're down to the final 4 on this TV show that is very reminiscent of The Bachelor. And they are on a romantic getaway to the Pacific Northwest. And there might be a Sasquatch type lady out there in the woods that wreaks havoc on things. And it was really funny. It was very kind of snarky and like didn't take itself too seriously. And then all of a sudden it switched to horror, which like for a minute I like forgot that I had been reading a horror book, and then all of a sudden there's like lots of horror happening, which is fine, doesn't bother me. It was as advertised, but and that was really gross but good and fun. And then in the last, honestly, like 10 to 15 pages of the book, it just got like weird, and like suddenly the timeline jumped out of order and things just didn't make sense, and then it just stopped. And I was like, what? This could have been so much better. So it just like absolutely tanked for me in the end. So I gave it 4 stars because I still had a really good time, but man, I wish the ending had been better. Next, I read Home, Habitat, Range, Niche, Territory by Martha Wells, which is a novella with like not even a novella, a short story with a title that's basically longer than the story itself. This is a short story that is book number 4.5 in the Murderbot Diaries. So this happens between books 4 and 5. It's just a tiny story that tells a little snippet of action from a different point of view. It was good. It was interesting. I was glad to see the point of view of that character, but in the end, like, I don't know. It was just fine. So I give it 3 stars. Not bad, not good, just there. And then I finished Yarn Over Murder by Maggie Sefton. This is book number, I don't even remember anymore, 11 or 12, I think, in the Knitting Mystery series. I'm not going to say much about this. It was fine. I gave it 3 stars. I'm never going to end up talking too much about those books because they're standard cozy mysteries, and by the time you're getting to book 12 in a series, that there's just spoilers everywhere, so I shouldn't be talking about them much anymore. Anyway, so 4 books finished in this 1 week. That feels really good. And then I am currently reading The Lying Game by Ruth Ware. It is for one of my book clubs this month, and I'm really enjoying it. Actually, I think it might be in April. Well, you're seeing this in April. I'm recording it in March. I don't know who I am anymore, when I am, what's happening. But I'm enjoying it. So far, I'm like maybe 20% through. It's fun. And then next, I am reading, I have to look these up because I haven't actually written down the author names on these. I am reading Can't Spell Treason Without T by Rebecca Thorne. It's very cute. It is a fantasy romance, cozy fantasy romance kind of thing. The romance isn't necessarily my draw to it, but I thought cozy fantasy is about basically like an assassin that, well, maybe not an assassin, like a royal guard person that ends up wanting to retire and just start a cozy tea and bookshop location with her partner. And just sounds lovely. So I'm not very far into it, but I thought cozy vibes would be lovely. And then I am also listening to and almost done with the 12-Week Year by Brian P. Moran and Michael Lennington. This is a productivity nonfiction book. A lot of people are super into the 12-Week Year lately that I've been finding, and so I wanted to give it a listen. It's fine. It's not that engaging. It has a great idea, but it's not like, I don't know if it's just the narrator or what, but it's not that engaging. So it's not like really inspiring me to go out and like get stuff done, but that's okay. Okay. Is that it? I'm double checking my list. I think we're good. I think we are all set. So by the next time you see me, I will have lived a whole month. And I will be back from Hawaii, and I will probably be really sad about it. But I will have hopefully had a lovely time. And let's see. Leave in the comments, leave some predictions, okay? Because the next time I record one of these, I will be a month into the future. But the next time you see one of these, it will just be on the regular schedule. So things will be normal for you. So what do you think between watching this podcast and the next one I post? What do you think I will have gotten done? What do you think that these yarns are for that I didn't tell you about? Excuse you, Mr. Truck. What do you think I will have to show you? Will I actually finish the C Street dress? Yes, I will. Will I finish the shawl that I'm working on? What will the neons become? What do you think? Let me know your predictions for the next month of my life. And while you're down there, leave a like and please subscribe to the channel. And until next time, take care of you, and I will see you later. Bye.